Nick Kerdiles appears to have just defended Savannah Chrisley's honor on Instagram. As we previously reported, Savannah Chrisley caught some serious heat for deep-sea fishing after she flaunted a shark it pulled from the depths of the ocean. Savannah did anticipate the criticism and tried to make it clear the shark was released back into the ocean. But her Instagram followers were not having it. Now, it appears as if Nick Kerdiles is indirectly defending Savannah's honor. He too has posted of their deep-sea fishing venture, and he wasn't shy about making the shark a focal point of his post. Savannah Chrisley caught so much heat for having that shark sitting on the deck of her boat. Nick Kerdiles, however, shared several pictures on Instagram, making it clear it was him that caught the shark and tossed it onto the boat deck. He also did include a caption that clarified the shark was released back to the ocean. But he wasn't shy with the number of pictures he shared. Like Savannah, Nick Kerdiles also got pelted with comments asking if he released the shark. These comments came despite his caption clearly stating the shark was released. Some clarified they just wanted to be sure he actually did what the hashtag attached to his post said he did. Many of his Instagram followers rolled their eyes as they responded to these critical comments calling attention to the hashtag. Others asked why it mattered if they released the shark or kept it. Unlike Savannah, Nick Kerdiles was not interested in arguing with the trolls in his comments. He seemingly ignored the tons of comments asking if it was released. He also didn't buckle under the criticism and delete his post the way Savannah Chrisley did. Considering the timing of the post, it definitely felt like Nick Kerdiles was indirectly trying to defend Savannah's honor after she was crucified for posting about the shark. Nick Kerdiles even ended his post promising a video of himself wrestling to catch the shark, so he definitely didn't seem too bothered by the criticism that was pouring in. Do you think it is sweet that Nick Kerdiles seemed to be defending Savannah Chrisley on Instagram? Do you think it is sad fans came for Savannah so hard because of a shark picture? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. And keep coming back for the latest on the Chrisley family. The digital world lit up in whispers and speculation as fans of Chrisley Knows best noticed something curious. A subtle but powerful act by the late Nick Kerdiles that felt like a posthumous defense of Savannah Chrisley's honor. It wasn't loud or showy. It wasn't a quote or a public declaration. But for those who have followed Savannah's emotional journey, it carried the weight of loyalty, love, and unfinished stories. In the Chrisley universe, where family drama, heartbreak, and resilience play out before millions, Savannah's name often finds itself at the heart of public scrutiny. Yet this time, instead of controversy, the spotlight turned tender. It was about Nick, his memory, his influence, and how even in silence, he seemed to stand beside the woman who once held his heart. The legacy of a love unfinished. Savannah Chrisley and Nick Kerdiles' relationship was once the stuff of Southern fairy tales. She, the confident daughter of a reality TV empire. He, the former hockey star turned entrepreneur with quiet charisma. Together they embodied charm, ambition, and youth wrapped in a glowing promise of forever. But forever, it seemed, came undone too soon. Their breakup, followed by Nick's tragic passing, left a silence that even Savannah's bravest smiles couldn't fill. Fans mourned with her, watching her oscillate between vulnerability and strength, her social media becoming both a sanctuary and battlefield. So when a sudden online ripple hinted that Nick's name had surfaced again, linked to Savannah in a way that felt almost protective, fans couldn't help but feel the emotion swell. It was as if he had reached through time to take her side, against gossip, against criticism, against the harsh spotlight that too often magnifies pain. An unseen gesture, a loud messagey spark began innocently, an unearthed interview, a resurfaced comment, or perhaps a quiet post that someone reshared. Nick's words, from a time before tragedy, carried more weight now than they did back then. He had once spoken, not of drama, not of division, but of respect, care, and a belief in Savannah's fire. It wasn't about defending her from a scandal. It was about reaffirming who she was: driven, loyal, misunderstood at times, but endlessly authentic. For many, the reappearance of that sentiment felt like a whisper from the past, echoing through Savannah's recent trials and triumphs. It wasn't Nick's voice saying, "I told you so." It was his presence, calm, steady, unwavering, that reminded everyone watching that love doesn't vanish just because life moves on. Savannah's strength, tested again and again. Savannah's journey since Nick's passing has been raw and revealing. Between taking custody of her younger siblings and rebuilding her own identity, she has faced storms that would shake anyone to the core. But each time she stands taller, wounded, yes, but never defeated. In interviews and podcast moments, her grief has never been performative. It's been human. Sometimes it's quiet strength. Sometimes it's the kind of ache that fills the pauses between words. And through it all, she's continued to speak of Nick with respect, never bitterness, only remembrance. To those who love her story, this possible defense from Nick's memory feels poetic. It's almost as if he's saying, "I still see you. Keep standing tall." The internet reacts the moment fans began to connect the dots, linking Nick's resurfaced comment to Savannah's current struggles. The online community erupted. Supporters flooded social media with messages of love and nostalgia. "He always believed in her," one fan wrote beneath an old photo of the couple. Another said, "Even in heaven, he's watching over her." The digital empathy was powerful, a shared recognition that some bonds transcend even tragedy. Others noted how the timing felt almost supernatural. Savannah had recently been the target of harsh online criticism over her decisions, her family's reality TV return, her outspoken podcast episodes. Just as negativity began to build, this wave of tenderness appeared, anchored by Nick's remembered words. "Maybe." But to those who believe in fate or in the enduring reach of love, it felt like something more. Echoes of their past understand why this small moment means so much. One must revisit their relationship's emotional arc. Savannah and Nick's romance was never merely tabloid fodder. It was real, messy, and layered. They got engaged, they postponed, they reconciled, they fought to make it work. Their journey mirrored life itself, a mixture of promise and imperfection. When Nick passed away, the grief didn't just belong to Savannah. It belonged to everyone who had watched them grow together on screen. The world had seen their laughter, their hopes, and the quiet tenderness that often unfolded between reality TV cuts. Now, years later, to see Nick's spirit woven again into her narrative is both haunting and healing. It feels like a circle closing, not in finality, but in peace. Healing in public view. Savannah's strength lies in her willingness to live authentically, even when it hurts. While many celebrities hide pain behind filters, she has chosen to speak about mental health, family struggles, and the ongoing process of healing from loss. She has never asked for pity, she asks only for understanding. And that's precisely why Nick's remembered defense resonates so deeply. It reinforces what Savannah has always tried to communicate: that she's not the tabloid caricature people sometimes make her out to be. She's a woman carrying immense weight with grace. Fans often say Savannah seems lighter lately, not because her pain has faded, but because she's learned to carry it differently. The spark that once drew Nick to her still shines, though it flickers with new wisdom now. When legacy becomes shield, Nick's legacy has taken on a new shape since his passing. No longer just the athlete or the fiancé, he's become a symbol of compassion, of the kind of quiet strength that lives on in memories and gestures. In this latest wave of fan attention, his name became a shield, almost instinctively protecting Savannah from the cruel rhythm of online criticism. The internet can be unforgiving, but sometimes it remembers kindness. And Nick was kind, to Savannah, to her family, to those who crossed his path. It's a strange beauty, How memory can defend what the living sometimes struggle to. Savannah's quiet acknowledgement. While Savannah hasn't directly commented on this newest wave of Nick-inspired attention, those who follow her closely noticed something subtle, a shift in tone, a caption about grace, a reposted memory, a heart emoji beneath an old photo of her and Nick that fans had resurfaced. She didn't need to spell it out. Her silence said enough. In the world of social media, where every post is scrutinized, her restraint carried more power than any long statement could. It was dignified, a reflection of love honored, not exploited. The power of remembered words. In many ways, Nick's remembered defense, whether through a rediscovered quote or symbolic act, reminds fans of the deeper truth, that the people we love continue to influence our stories long after they're gone. For Savannah, that influence has been transformative. Nick taught her patience. He taught her resilience. And even in his absence, he continues to teach her about self-worth and peace.